All right, so we're going to add and subtract our polynomials in this example. So we can see we have two polynomials. Here's a trinomial and here's a binomial. First thing we're going to do is add these together. So all that means is you have 3x squared minus 2xy plus 4y squared. We're going to add to it the other polynomial, 2x squared plus 3y squared. Okay, so when you add these, we're looking for like terms to combine. Let's see, we have an x squared here. Here's another x squared. So 3x squared plus 2x squared is 5x squared. Here's an xy. It doesn't have any like terms, so minus 2xy. And then we have a 4y squared and a 3y squared. So if we add those together, we get 7y squared. And that's our final answer. And what we're doing is we're ordering this. If it doesn't tell us how to order, your default is to order based off whichever variable comes first in the alphabet. So in this case, it would be x. You can see the exponents of your x are in descending order. So here's x squared, here's x to the first, and this one is technically an x to the 0 power. All right, so adding, those are the easier ones. Subtracting polynomials, this is where people tend to have different answers. And let me show you what happens here. We have 3x squared minus 2xy plus 4y squared. And what we're doing is we're subtracting this whole polynomial, 2xy plus 3y squared. Now the reason why I put parentheses around that is because we are subtracting a 2x squared and we're subtracting a 3y squared. I think the easiest thing to do here is to think of that as a -1 in front, and you're just distributing a -1. You have negative 2x squared if you multiply that. -1 times 3 is a -3y squared. And then we're actually done with that part of the problem, and I'll just focus on these. So when you're subtracting polynomials, you have to remember that the second polynomial, every term gets subtracted. And what it does is it changes all the signs of the second polynomial. Okay, so here we have 3x squared minus 2x squared gives you a positive 1x squared. All right, we have this minus 2xy, and there's no other xy's to combine with it, so that just comes down, minus 2xy. And then you have 4y squared minus a 3y squared. 4 minus 3 is 1, and it's positive, so plus 1y squared. And that's our answer from subtracting our polynomials. All right, in this video, we're just going to work on simplifying this. And basically what that means is distribute if you can, combine like terms, and put your polynomial in the proper order. So I see 3 sets of parentheses, so we're going to start out by doing some distributing here. X squared times 2y is a 2x squared y. Now if you notice, when I multiplied those two terms together, I did put my variables in alphabetical order. 2, then the x squared, and then the y. And that coefficient, that number, always goes out in front. All right, now we have x squared times a -3, so that's minus 3x squared. All right, plus 4, so 4, we're going to distribute that positive 4, so you have a positive 4x squared. And then 4 times 2y is a positive 8y. All right, then we subtract this 3y is negative, so negative 3y times x squared. Remember, I'm going to put those variables in alphabetical order, so it's going to be minus 3. I'm going to do the x squared first and then the y. And then negative 3y times a -1 is a positive 3y. All right, so our proper order here are the terms, well actually, let me go back. We'll just combine our like terms and then we'll talk about the proper order. So do we have any like terms? Here's an x squared y, so I'm looking for any other x squared y's, and I see here's another one. So if we put those together, 2 minus 3 is a -1 x squared y. You could also just say negative x squared y. That one is optional right there. Same, they mean the same thing. All right, here's a minus 3x squared, here's a plus 4x squared, and I don't see any others, so if I put those together, negative 3 plus 4 is 1x squared, and then we have 8y plus 3y, so that gives us 11y. All right, so our proper order is going to be the highest exponent of the first variable in the alphabet, which is x. So we have our x squared and our x squared. So that's good. These two cannot go together, so we're going to put the x squared y first and the x squared second, and then the y on its own at the end. So we're actually good with this order right here.